And welcome, Star Wars fans. We have made it. We are here. As we talk about what you have been waiting for. Star Wars. The Last Jedi. What's good, everyone? We're about 6 months away. And we're here to talk about Star Wars The Last Jedi only. Only Star Wars talk will be going on today. Aloha! Well, December is the dates they like because one is near Christmas. People can buy toys and shop. But it sucks if you're someplace like Chicago where it's freezing cold and you're going to be catching a cold outside, freezing to death in a Star Wars costume. Now, this movie poster is epic. We've seen this shot done many different ways. With Luke and Kylo. So once again, this is only for Star Wars. This movie was supposed to come out this summer, but they pushed it back for December because it would be going up against all the Marvel movies, and they just couldn't find the right dates. So December is the perfect timing for this. Now, I'm giving people time to get on before we start getting into it because this is the live feed. Did I like The Force Awakens? Absolutely, I love The Force Awakens. Now, from this actual poster, we've seen this done many different ways. We've seen the old versus the young, or what's the new and the old. That's what this picture indicates. You've seen this split done so many different ways, but I like how they have the blue and the hope, because blue is like the symbol of hope. When you see Rey with the blue lightsaber, then as it scrolls up, it gets dark and it got a little area in between that's like light. The mixture of the blue and the red, which makes it kind of like almost a white, a grayish white. And if you go all the way up, you see it's red at the top, which means in the middle is the balance and the split between the young and the old. You seen that with Star Trek. Remember Star Trek? They had the old Kirk, and then they had the newer Kirk. Well, the favorite Star Wars movie everyone has is Empire. And like I said, if you just got in here, we're discussing Star Wars only. Now, let's get into news. Let's get into updates of what's going on right now. Now, here's the news and updates that are going on and the questions that people have. Rey's parents. Who is Rey? Who left her on Jakku? What's going on with Rey? Will we get the answer in this film? And I will be the bearer of bad news to tell you that we're going to get teased again. We're going to get some information on Rey, as this movie, as Rian Johnson is very good at, is directing a film that's so nostalgically back to the past. This movie is really answering a lot of questions that we had from Force Awakens. So you're going backwards. So we're going to a film that never existed, that happened in between The Force Awakens and right now. Because what you're going to be seeing is the fallout from all of these actions that happened in the past. This is the first Star Wars film that is continuing right after The Force Awakens, because it would only make more questions to answer. And they have enough, and they didn't answer a lot, and that's the way JJ likes to do. JJ Abrams don't like to answer questions. He likes to leave the audience guessing. And Luke Skywalker, which is Mark Hamill, he had issues and questions about how Luke should be presented in The Force Awakens. And he thought in The Force Awakens, Luke should have been the one to get the lightsaber when it was shaking in the snow and it popped up, and then it goes into the hand of Luke Skywalker. And he thought that would be more of an impact, which makes a lot of sense, because Rey she hasn't been trained. And here's Kylo Ren, who was trained by Luke Skywalker. So Kylo Ren has been trained. We don't know how far he got in his Force abilities, but he's gotten a lot farther than Rey. And all Rey had to do was tap into her Force and just beat Kylo Ren. So these are the questions that Luke had going into it. But J.J. Abrams had it like, no, this is the way I want to do it. And he kind of blew Mark Hamill off. And then, as you see the end, when Luke is sitting there, at the cliff, symbolic to it being a cliffhanger, Luke is standing by the cliff, and that look, and Rey's pointing the lightsaber at him. It left the audience gasping because they want to see Luke in action. So it builds everything up for episode 8. Because would you be so excited to see Luke in this one if you just saw him do it a little tease in part 7? Because you already had that Luke with the lightsaber thing already in your head. We want to see Luke being Luke again. Now, Princess Leia. There's another thing. Will Leia be in the movie all the way? Yes. Princess Leia is completed the film, and unfortunately, it is the last film she's ever done, and the last time we will see her in a Star Wars movie. But she's done something iconic, and she will live forever. We will get to that, Greg. We're going to go down the whole script of what's going down in episode 8. From the plot, everything. Now, with her character, in this film, she's taking more of a commanding role in the proceedings of what's left of the rebellion. But she will not, and I repeat, Princess Leia will not be in episode 9. No CGI, no, all those rumors are false. That has been confirmed. Calvin, there is no good side or bad side. This is what Star Wars has been trying to show you and prove to you throughout. Everybody has a good side in their own point of view. This is what Obi-Wan was trying to tell Luke about other people's point of view. See, in the Sith point of view, they think the galaxy needs to be in control, needs order. It's too much anarchy going on. They're not in there making people slaves and whipping on them, and they are letting people govern themselves. They just want you to make sure you follow order. There are rules and there's order. And if you get out of line, they can forcibly take action. In other words, they're North Korea. And they believe in their structuring system. This is the law, and if they don't believe in democracy because they believe democracy don't work, it just adds to confusion. So that's why it's a lot of politics that you see now are played out throughout the Star Wars. That's why they have to keep the Senate in place, because that's how you can control many other systems. You have representation of yourself, duplication. Well, you could say Iran if you don't like if you don't like North Korea. So now we know that Leia won't be in episode 9. Let's focus on episode 8, The Last Jedi. From this movie's inception, there were keys left in The Force Awakens. Some people, they made videos and they got them, and some stumbled across them, and some missed a few. Kylo Ren is searching for Luke Skywalker. That was his whole obsession. But he had gotten it and didn't even realize it. Rey has actually had the vision of where he was in her head. She could see it. You have to understand, when he was first going through her head, when he got her on the ship, and he could see Han Solo, he could see the island, he could see the water. He's calling it out as he's going through in his head. Yeah, I see the water, I see. He omitted it. Rey, in her life on Jakku as a scavenger, has never seen an ocean before in her life. Those are the visions that was in her head that he was going through. And he missed it. What it was the location of where Luke was. Without a missing piece or a puzzle, she already had the answer by using the Force. She was connected. But Kylo omitted it due to his attachment to the dark side of the Force. They omit things to the other side. It's the reason why in the Return of the Jedi, the Emperor did not feel Luke's presence when he went to the moon of Endor. I don't think he torches Luke's Jedi temple at that location. I really don't. It may happen, but I think that's more likely a flashback to the beginning. Now, let's start going through this film. Hello, everyone. We're in complete Star Wars mode. Still got my tags straight from Comic-Con. Well, Star Wars Celebration. And before we leave here, we're going to be taking you inside a Star Wars Celebration 2 and showing you things that were there that were exceptional. We picked up on a lot of different details, and we want to go over everything with you. And first of all, we probably need to go over, some of the characters, because a lot of people are asking about the characters in this film. Now, everyone wants to know, who is Snoke? The whole world. Is he Ezra Bridger? That could be the case, but I doubt it. Ezra Bridger would be about in his 50s. Now, I know Benicio del Toro's in the film, and a lot of people think he's going to be Ezra from the Star Wars Rebel series, and that's who Ezra is going to be. Well, if Snoke was Plagueis the Wise, it would make a lot of sense. But then it would be tying into something that, where's he been, how they hit him out. I've heard of Darth Revan, but Darth Revan was never that powerful. Darth Revan was a guy that always was, he'll be a good guy, and he's a bad guy, and he's a good guy, and he's a bad guy again. I think since they've been tying, because of the way the Rogue One was set up, they've been tying in bits and pieces of the old Rebel series. There might be a clue or something to the past. But here's the thing that I believe. Star Wars in this era is different from Rogue One. Yes, they have the characters, but in the Rogue One type series, they'll be more bridging those characters in more than the Star Wars legacy. They want to kind of keep it, with new characters. This is the last year for Rebels. This is the last year, season 4, because they've reached the point where you can't really go any further. Now, going into this film, I don't believe anybody is from Rebels in this film. I don't think Ezra's in this film at all in episode 8. I think it's a nice kudos to keep everybody talking about him. Because one of the reasons I say that is because Ezra we all seen his backstory and how he, got force abilities and this, and grows up, and it makes people go back to Rebels. But the rest of the general public doesn't really understand Ezra's story. Now, here's the thing. I believe Snoke is a character, and his name is General Snoke, and that he's not Plagueis the Wise. He's a Force user who was trained in the dark arts of the Force, and he was from another planet, another solar system that kind of connects to the animated film. And he was trained by Darth Vader. But he has very, very strong knowledge of the Force. Now, is he the Inquisitor? He might be. That, to me, that tells me a lot more than what a lot of people are leading on to believe. I would believe that Vader probably trained Snoke based on watching Rogue One. A lot of people believe that, but yeah, the Inquisitor would make a lot of sense. They're more balanced. They didn't believe in the Sith ideology. That's why you don't see a lot of different things in this thing like the Sith. You never hear anybody say the word Sith in The Force Awakens. This falls on the battlefronts of religion. How people took right, see, people took the Bible and made their own religion to the Bible. What they felt the Bible meant to them. They took the holy book, rather, and said, this is the holy word, and these are the laws, and made their laws to them. The Jedi made their laws. The Sith saw different things in their laws. So, you see how everything mirrors the other reality? They mirror each other back and forth. So, people will take that book and one side will say, we're Islam. One people will say, we're Christians. And then they would battle. They would battle it out over what they think the word means. Nothing different here whatsoever. In this film, you're going to see this is about, and what Star Wars have been since they brought it back, is about the Force itself. Not about the religions. Not about the Sith. Not about the Jedi. It has been always I don't remember Sith being used in episode 7. Because the battle was always dark versus light. But like if you listen to the trailer, you will see they're giving you the clues of the direction of where they're going. When he's saying, look beyond that, there's more. There's so much more. Because the gray area is where they want to lie. So when Luke says the last Jedi, and when he says the Jedi must end. Once he says those words, I think it's time for the Jedi to end, which means is I seen the light. I read the books. I got the knowledge for myself. It's like someone who grew up in a religion because their parents was in it. And since a kid, basically, you've been told this is the religion you're in. Then you get up and you read the books and you learn from yourself and saying, wait, I see something else here. I see I've been lied to. And a lot of things they're talking about don't make any sense. And it's not what the book says. Now, they're starting to learn that and go in another direction. Yeah, Asaka Tano was one that also had that same type of feeling about the Jedi and the rules. Just like Dooku. Dooku was another one. And also you had Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon was another one who also kind of thought that it was different because the Jedi had formed their rules around the Republic, around order of the Republic, in which they was, and that's how they ended up being their demise. Because they believed in the Republic so much in the system, they were making that the laws of the Jedi. And then the Republic split from the Jedi because of the deception by the Sith, who end up controlling the Senate. So when you control the Senate, you were controlling the Jedis as well. So it caused dissension within the ranks. So people like, look, this war we're fighting is like we're fighting ourselves. Because the decisions are not even making sense. So all those guys split and made themselves into separatists and was fighting the Republic. So the Jedis end up becoming the separatists because they split from the Republic too. And the Republic ended up being the dark side of the Force. They controlled it all. Now, let's go through some more characters and then we'll go through the entire rundown of the Last Jedi. Now, when the Last Jedi was announced, I was there live at Star Wars Comic-Con. Everyone there was very excited. They looked and said, thank you very much. You know, and they played it back again. They did it twice. We were right there on the floor. We saw it live. And will Luke die in episode 8? Maybe. But now, since Princess Leia won't be in episode 9, Luke might be preserved in episode 9. But I don't really know. I originally believed he would pass away in episode 8. But I'm going to do a complete rundown of the entire film on how I think it's going to play out. Now, the writer who did the screenplay is Rian Johnson. And based on his legacy, he's the guy that did Looper. You know, he's vastly known in Hollywood, you know, as far as the way he directs a film. So he's a perfect choice, and he's a diehard Star Wars fan. His best film that I've seen him do was his first one called Brick. If you haven't seen it, go get Brick. Go watch it, go Google it. It might be on YouTube somewhere. Brick is the best way to go. Where his actual, you know, Looper is great. But Brick was the best work to me. He's also done, that's right. He also done 3 episodes of the Breaking Bad series. A lot of people didn't realize that either. So Ryan Johnson is a man of visual. He's a man who knows how to not lose you and not lose the story when he goes back to the past. He's very good at bridging the past to the forward, to the present, where you don't lose the pacing of the film. He's very talented in that, regard, and getting the story out to the public where it's very interesting and you're not lost. Now, everyone's like, well, what's up with the full cast and crew? Here's the full cast and crew. We already know we got Daisy as the first call. Daisy Ridley is Rey. And I told you, we're going to have, her take more of a, a more revealing role as she basically turns into Luke when he was on Dagobah. Star Wars don't do flashbacks. Well, they do now, Dick Dickerson. No, Luke is not. No, no, Jesse, it's not. He's serious. The Jedi needs. I'm gonna explain to you exactly what's going on when I go down this whole thing, and then we'll get through that part there. We'll get through that whole little storm you're talking about, because I know what you're trying to say. You don't want to believe it. Star Wars Episode 7 did a lot of flashbacks. It did a few. They kept showing Luke when he was the flashback, when Rey has the flashback scene. This movie here is a lot of flashbacks. And then you're going to see a fallout of things to happen. Because I'm going to go through that as we go through. There's rumored that Tom Hardy's going to be in the film as a stormtrooper, just making an appearance. Well, visions are flashbacks when you're watching them on film. So, and here we'll have those moments as well too. So, if you want to call them visions, fine, visions. Billie Lourd, who is Carrie Fisher's daughter, she did a great job at Star Wars Celebration, giving a tribute to her mom. And she will continue her role as Lieutenant Connick. I don't think Lieutenant Connick is going to have an even bigger role in here. She'll probably have one line or two. Nothing to draw anybody to it. Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. I agree, Obey, anime. I'm always with the Sith. I believe in order. And if people get out of line, they should be punished. But Kylo Ren is another story that's a sad, tragic story of a kid who's lost. He's lost his way, and he's trying to go... He's trying to go on a route to discover himself and want to be up there and powerful and as the great Darth Vader. Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia. This will be her last time we see Carrie Fisher in the film. And what she's going to be involved in mostly is her conflict with the character of Laura Dern, who's not yet, no one really knows her name. Her name has been kept a secret. They've shown her pictures of Laura Dern, but what it's saying is like she's part of the rebellion, but a higher up. And her ideas are going to conflict with Carrie Fisher's, and that battle's going to happen. And Christie, which is supposed to be Gwendolyn Christie, Captain Phasma, she's back, and she's going to have more of an authoritative role as far as leading the charge of this new rebellion. General Hux. General Hux will be in this film as well, returning as the role of the guy who really doesn't like Kylo Ren and feel like we don't really need Kylo Ren. He really wants to just run the ship his way and loves order and doing things by precision. And Finn's in this film, and we're going to get to that. And people found out now that Kelly Marie Tran has had this role of Rose. And what is that going to mean? And will Chewbacca die? And Maz Kanata is in the film. Maz did not die. Now, let's go through how I think this film is going to play out and who I think people is. Now, the biggest one is Benicio del Toro. A lot of people says he's Ezra, but I believe he is Vikram Fett. A lot of people says he's the son of Boba Fett. But he could be Boba Fett, period. And he wears black. And he's the guy that's going to accompany Kylo Ren. He's related to Boba Fett in some fashion. That's all we're going to know. And he wants to kill Luke Skywalker because he believes Luke Skywalker killed Boba Fett. So he has a very personal vendetta against the Skywalker, Luke Skywalker. So Snoke is going to use that. And he's a Force user. Then you're going to find out that Boba Fett was also a Force user. He also had Force abilities. Who wasn't a Jedi, wasn't a Sith, but did have Force abilities. That's what the new Star Wars is, The Force Awakens, is trying to tell you. Is that the Force, because in the first movies, we were led to believe people who had the Force were either Jedi or Sith. But there were a lot of people whose abilities weren't detected that had Force abilities. And now that those orders are broken, there are people still being born with these Force abilities, as Maz Kanata told you, but they're not a Jedi or a Sith. They just have those abilities. As you see from Princess Leia. Princess Leia has Force abilities, but she's not a Jedi and she's not a Sith. But she has Force abilities. Now, here's how I see the movie playing out. If you don't want to hear it, you don't want to know, log off now. And thank you for showing up for as long as you did. Because we're going to run down to how I think this movie's going to go. Everything. Now, are you guys ready? Luke Skywalker's from 2 Live Crew. When this film comes on, Rey will be training with Luke, and while she's training, the First Order is regrouping. Kylo Ren is in his tank. They're recouping. So General Hux brings him in before the Supreme Leader Snoke. Supreme Leader Snoke is so disgusted with what happened with the loss of Starkiller Base. He uses the Force and crushes General Hux and ends his life right then and there on the spot. As soon as he brings Kylo Ren back, he is removed. That's why you don't see General Hux in anything in that trailer. General Hux is just gone in like the first section. They're going to crush. Snoke is going to eliminate him effective immediately once he returns Kylo Ren back to him and gives his full report. He will be then crushed by the Force, by Snoke. Then Vikram Fett will be the guy that's going to accompany as he trains Kylo Ren at the healing from the attack. Now they know the location of the base of the rebellion. They know the location of the base. So now that they know the location of the base, of where they're hiding, all they want to do now is they're going to go to war. So they got all the momentum. They've already destroyed the rebellion's connections. So the rebellion, you're going to find out, have other friends and other systems that's going to come and help them out as well as they get ready for war to fight against the First Order. And the First Order is coming with a wave. They're coming to attack and destroy right away. They're not wasting no time. Even without Starkiller Base, they're still effective. Now, Snoke is on a Star Destroyer. He's sitting on his throne. He's got a robe on that's gold and red. He's all about riches and prestige and order. Like the Pope. Pope Snoke. Get the connections? So he sits up there and makes his commands from that area, period. While Rey is training with Luke Skywalker, things are not going well at all. Rey does not like the way Luke is teaching her and training her because it's nothing like what she thought. He's so pessimistic about everything that she was thought to believe. He's not saying like, okay, well, he's like, well, look, they're not that bad. And I don't really want to do this. You sure you want to train? Luke is very pessimistic about getting involved and leading this thing and this whole Jedi thing and Sith. He's like, man, look, this stuff's got to end. Like, I don't want to have another Jedi. This Jedi thing has to end, period. And she's baffled by this because she don't understand it. She's like, well, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't understand. Like, why? It just doesn't make sense to her that he's so pessimistic. And she's like, you're a hero of mine. I heard the stories, And it's like crushing to her. And he's teaching her all new techniques that the Jedis didn't teach her. And he's trying to explain to her why things are this way. And she's not going to be a Jedi. She's going to be doing something else other than. She's going to be different than a Jedi. So he's teaching her in a way. And then in a way, she's kind of helping Luke. She's bringing him out of his funk that he was in. Because he's so depressed on the betrayal of his students and the destruction of his temple. So, like I said, I think that's why you're not seeing these characters for a reason. Because I believe they want to make it like revealing. But Benicio del Toro definitely wants to kill Luke Skywalker. and crush him for what happened to. He blames what happened to Boba Fett to Luke. And Snoke is using this as his advantage. And in this film, originally, I said Luke Skywalker would die. Vikram Fett. Many had foreseen Luke Skywalker dying off. Han died, Luke died, Leia was the character that was going to go through all three. But now, Leia will not be in episode 9. But it doesn't mean Luke won't be killed off. Because remember, they finished filming. They finished filming before she passed away. Snoke and Luke will have a epic battle, I believe, before I think the temple crumbles down. It's going to be something. Wherever they fight, and their force abilities are too great to keep the force in one contained area, that it starts to crack. Then they're going to see that Snoke power is the mind manipulation. He can put visions in people's heads that are not real. He put visions in Kylo Ren's head of Darth Vader and his voice, like he hears Darth Vader's voice talking to him. And that has been his motivation to pull him to the dark instead of the light. Now, here's the thing about Snoke. Snoke is trained in the dark side of the Force, but he understands that both sides of the Force is necessary. Unlike the Sith. That's why their eyes turn yellow. When they're so connected to the dark side, their eyes turn yellow. Where Snoke isn't like that. That's why you see no one's eyes really went completely to the dark side. Count Dooku's eyes never turned yellow. And he was a Sith Lord too. But he was a Jedi first. And his eyes never went all the way towards the dark side. Anakin's eyes did once he went all the way over to the dark side. Dooku went there and already had his abilities. But he still maintained his political, like, I'm still fighting for the righteousness of good. I just think that the Sith side makes more sense than the Jedi side right now. So he never really went all the way full dark side. When you go full dark side, your eyes start to turn completely yellow. And that's where Darth Maul was born, since it's so close to the dark side of the Force. That planet is so full of dark energy. Some of the people there are born with yellow eyes. That's why his brother was born with yellow eyes. Darth Maul had yellow eyes. It's so connected to the dark side of the Force. Now, Snoke is a person that understands just like Luke. They both understand the importance of the light and the dark. That's why he wants Kylo Ren. He wants Kylo Ren because Kylo possesses both sides, like Vader did. And that's what makes him powerful, is that he was a Jedi, training to be a Jedi, and now he has the dark side in him. And that balance is what's going to... He never had a chance to train anybody like him. So the balance and the potential in him The upside is great. So I do believe Rey will be taught some of the dark side as well as being from the Jedi. She'll be taught both. She'll be taught things that Jedis weren't allowed to be taught. And when they say the last Jedi, people think Rey is the last Jedi. No, the last Jedi is Luke Skywalker. He is a Jedi. Kylo Ren was never a Jedi. He was a Padawan learner who betrayed and left. The last Jedi is Luke Skywalker. The name of this film was going to be named Skywalker. And that was scrapped because it was too much center around the name Skywalker. Now, the film, and you see, if you go back and watch The Force Awakens, read the crawl that's going up. It says, the First Order is in search of the last Jedi, Luke Skywalker. He is the last Jedi. So this film is about Luke Skywalker completely, the last Jedi. And he wants it to end with him. And what Rey is going to be is the new version of the Jedi. Because of the order. You guys didn't get here in the beginning. Star Wars, that's right, the Gray Jedi. He will be known as the Gray Jedi, like Gandalf the Grey. Where if you see in that area, there is light and dark. See that middle area before it turns blue? That little white in there. That's why Luke says in the trailer, when she says, I see the light and I see the dark. And he told her to look further. There's so much more. She will be a new Jedi with one of light and dark. And her goal, just like Luke's goal was, the Jedi Order wanted Luke to kill Darth Vader. That's what their order was. Kill Darth Vader. They wanted Luke to kill his own father. Your father must be destroyed. You have to kill him. Luke wanted to save him. He wanted to save his father because he felt there was good in him to be saved. So Luke didn't follow what the Jedis wanted him to do. He saved his father and found a new way. That's why Return of the Jedi was not the return of Luke Skywalker. It was the return of Anakin Skywalker, who was a Jedi, who went from Darth Vader back to Anakin Skywalker. So it was Return of the Jedi. Luke wasn't a Jedi yet. The Jedi way is mostly perception of how they feel things should go off of translations and scrolls and predictions, and they're easy to be manipulated. Their main focus of the Force is to be able to read the future. They can't even do it if they're in the presence of somebody with the dark side. The dark side clouds their vision. They have the ability to cloud the Jedi's vision. They can't see the future. They're more political than anything. But they front and pretend to be something that they're not. Anakin Skywalker was Valentino. He was the Jedi that was returning in Return of the Jedi. This is going to play out more like The Empire Strikes Back with Luke Skywalker, who is the last Jedi. Remember, Luke wasn't a Jedi when he faced Vader. Remember, he tells Yoda, "So I am a Jedi," and Yoda's like, "Oh, wait, check that at the door. If you don't, you gotta fight Vader, and once you defeat Vader, then you will be a Jedi. But until then, oh no, you ain't no Jedi yet." So, Return of the Jedi was return of Anakin Skywalker back to being a Jedi. When the Jedi Order, which was Yoda and everybody else, they wanted Luke to kill Darth Vader. Vader had to die. No, see, that's the last thing to becoming a Jedi. Remember, Obi-Wan took the trials, but he wasn't going to be announced a Jedi until he faced his greatest challenge. And once he faced Darth Maul, he didn't have to take the trials. He beat a Sith Lord. So, once you beat a Sith Lord, there you go. You've automatically become a Jedi. Once Luke beat Vader and defeated him, he became a Jedi. "You failed, Your Highness. I'm a Jedi like my father before me." That was his goal. He wanted to be a Jedi. Mike Knight has finally shown up. And now this is going to play out more like Empire. Luke is bitter. He's broken. He's not the same person as he was before when he was running the Jedi Temple. And you're going to learn that. And by him going through these trials and tribulations over the years, it has darkened him. And here comes Rey with her hope and her light. And she's going to end up bringing the teachers some joy where they end up helping each other. Rey is going to be the one of hope. That is her whole thing. Yes, the gray area is what they're going to portray. See, the Sith, they were so close to the dark side, their eyes were all yellow for a reason. They are blinded by so much hate and anger that they miss small details. Like I told you, this is why the Emperor, who was so obsessed with the dark side of the Force and the power it brought, that he could not see the little things. He didn't know that Luke was on Endor. He did not feel his presence. But Darth Vader felt him because he has both dark and light. That's his son. So he had a connection. He could feel him. Yeah, I'm choking to death. See, here's the thing. There is no good, there is no evil. It's everyone's perception. This plays out just like we have in real life. Everyone took the Bible or the Torah or the book of God and they made their own religion to the books. The Jedis made their own religion. The Islamics made their own religion and said, this is the law. This is what it meant. This is what this meant. No, this is what it meant. We're going to do our own. Now there's all these different religions built on the book. But somebody go back and read the book and determine they don't agree with any of it. And they're going to say, I'm not a part of any religion, but this is what I believe. That is where Luke Skywalker is. Luke Skywalker has arrived at the gray area, which saying this isn't bad, that we were told was bad, because the book right here says completely different than what they were saying. It's a hypocrisy going on. Because in every faction, the Islamics will be, hypocritical to what they believe. And the Christians will be, they would be hypocritical to the things that fit in their order or their religion. Whenever you find imperfections in it, they go, wait a minute. No. They become defensive. So same thing with the Islamics. And there's been a war between the two. For many hundreds and thousands of years, they always gone to war, fighting for what they believe is the right translation in the book. Hence, Star Wars, the Jedis and the Sith. And now, in the newer versions, you're seeing it's not always about Jedi or Sith. It's about the Force, period. Which is, in our terms, God. And everything here is not about the religions they're built around, but about the actual Force. And what people think is good and what people think is bad. Because the First Order believes they're doing the right thing. They're not evil at all. They're doing what they needs to be done for the right of the law. Order is the key to rule the universe. There will be anarchy. See, with the First Order, and what people don't realize is that crime has been cut down. It doesn't exist. There is no crime. If someone does a crime, they're arrested by the First Order and dealt with a swift punishment. So there's no crime. It is policed. They feel like prisoners that they can't be who they want to be. So this is like North Korea or Iran. It's more of a dictatorship, and they want more of a democracy where they can say and do what they want. Same thing we see here is the same thing played out on the screen. Nothing new. It's just that it's done with lights and everything else, but the story is all too familiar. Where each side believes that they're right, that there is no villain. So now you're going to say, well, what is the books that you're speaking of? Carcino, what would be the book in Star Wars? I don't understand. What do you mean? There is a book called The Journal of the Wills that they show a picture of in the trailer. Yep, there you go, Mike Knight. The Journal of the Wills is what they show in the trailer, which leads you to believe that they are going in the direction of the books, the Wills. That's Wills. And what the Journal of the Wheels is a book of the Jedi. First come the day, then comes the night. After the darkness shines through the light, the difference, they say, is only made right by the resolving of gray through refined Jedi sight. Journal of the Wheel. It was the journal. It was the journal that's in the forest tree that Luke probably brought with him that referenced the Jedi. So it's telling me that they are going in the direction of what the fans are related to, which makes more sense. And they're going to the earlier inceptions of early drafts of Star Wars, things that you never saw before, you heard about with George Lucas. Those old ideas that you heard are now starting to come to light, that you're seeing now in the films. Rey's visions will be explained a lot more in episode 8, but still not solved. You're going to learn a little bit more about who she is, but still not quite. She's more involved in a conflict like Luke was with Yoda. He just like, I can't believe you're a Jedi Master, how Luke was when he went to Dagobah. But this is different. Luke is in a dark place, and he's in a different place. You know, and he's enlightened by something else, and he believes that the whole Jedi thing just needs to end. That whole religion thing needs to end. That she needs to be different, and I think she will be a different. He's gonna teach her techniques from the light and the dark, but at the same time, she's going to bring him back to the line of hope because he feels almost like hopelessness to keep this going in this direction. Now, for those who just got here, Finn, a character I didn't talk about yet because everybody wants to know what's going on with Finn. Finn has Force abilities, but he's not a Jedi. He's not a dark side. People don't know it. But Finn is going to use a lot of his talents. We might not see him with a lightsaber, but Finn is definitely going to be in here and fighting. And Finn is going to actually be more involved and find and discover his power in this film as well, as Rose might end up being his love interest, who's going to be there. She's going to help out and make a very key role in this film, who we just found out about her character during Star Wars Celebration. But the Journal of the Wheels, well, that's going to play out in this film. That's the book. And that's the book Luke has been getting his teachings from, and that's where he's going directly from the book. He's not going by what he was taught. He's using some of the things he was taught, but he's mostly going by that book. Now, Maz Kanata is going to fill in a lot of blanks in this film. I think you're going to see where she got the lightsaber from. They're going to do a flashback to show where Maz got the lightsaber from, and they're going to go from that point on. But she's going to really do some revealing as to what's going on with Rey in her past and who she really is. Yeah, and then Vikram Fett. What is his relation to Boba Fett? Is he Boba's son that we never knew about? Because Boba could have had a son, and right now that son would have been 50 years old. So this could be the son of Boba Fett. And it would make sense because Vikram Fett is force driven. He wears black. He supposedly has two lightsabers from the art concept. And Vikram Fett could be his brother, but I think it's more driven that he's a son or related to him, but he wants to kill Luke Skywalker because he blames Luke Skywalker for the death of his father, as the rumors went that Luke Skywalker killed Jabba the Hutt and Boba Fett, as the legend was spreaded throughout the land, that Luke Skywalker is the one that killed Jabba. So Snoke will use that to his advantage to lure them out. And use him and send him with Kylo Ren to fight with Luke Skywalker and Rey. So it's going to be two Jedis versus two Sith. Or two dark side guys, not Sith. But that's the clash, the two different forces. I do see Luke dying in this. And I believe Luke is willing to die than kill Kylo Ren. I think he goes in to try to save Kylo after being able to kill him. And the death of Luke Skywalker does not give Kylo Ren the closure he would expect. And I think Star Wars is always about full circle. In episode 9, I see Kylo Ren coming back to being a Jedi. Something, he'll come back more to the light side, and he will turn against Snoke. As Snoke has feared that he would, that's why he kept him away from him until he saw that he killed Han Solo, which was his own father, which would give him enough strength and power with the dark side of the Force. That's why now he's willing to complete his training. Oh yeah, I think this will be the highest grossing film of all time. Yes, I think it will be. It's December because of the dates. You got to think. You got Marvel movies coming out in May. You got Guardian of the Galaxy coming out in May. Star Wars wouldn't have been able to. They tried to go in the summer, but they need to prepare more. There might be a Force Ghost. that is, it's kind of hard to go and see, like all right, this person's doing that, that person's doing that. Very hard to tell. If Yoda's a Force ghost and he talking with Luke, that would be great. But I could see, I would hope Luke is talking more with his father, Anakin. That would make more sense. Him and Obi-Wan had a connection, but I would love to see Luke talking Force Ghost with his father, which may have led Luke to go ahead and go towards the book more than anything else. Well, I try not to do a trailer screenshot because Star Wars is so particular. But I'm going to show you some things here in a second. Oh man, this thing, I will be here all night. Let me take a shortcut. The Knights of Ren doesn't really mean anything anymore. Did I get anything signed? I didn't get anything signed. I wanted more photographs than signature. I should have got something signed. The rock formation is not Yoda. That rock formation is a rock formation of what used to be probably an old Jedi. Well, Samuel Jackson appeared at Star Wars Celebration saying, "Hey, I'm not dead. Bring me back." Well, I should have. I got a chance to speak to Billy D. Williams and everything, so that was great. Mm. Snoke is Mace Windu. A lot of people think he's Ezra. Do you think he's Ezra? I don't think he's Ezra at all. Well, Ezra would be about 50, but how would Ezra get this next season of Rebels will tell you a lot more. If you see Ezra get tore up with a lightsaber to the point where he can't move, then maybe. But if you watch the Rogue One film, when the guy comes in, when Darth Vader, you finally see that Darth Vader lives on Mustafar, the place where he lost his limbs. But it was the place he also left Anakin Skywalker, and Darth Vader became full circle. And it keeps his power so tight like a fist. And it keeps him right at the core of the dark side. That's why he stays on Mustafar. It's a reminder of the pain. Do you think I cared to watch the Cavs game? We all knew. Why you think I'm doing this? Because I already knew during the Cavs game, because I already know I want to talk to the Star Wars fan. I already know what that game is going to be. Now, going through the Star Wars, they were going to I had them winning in 5 games, but I knew they were going to let the Cavs go out in 4 once Kyrie was hurt, because Kyrie needs rest for his knee. He's not 100%. It's the knee he has surgery on, and they don't want it to be, you know. Thank you, Rudolph. The thing is, I was searching something from you. Because there are so many people that do a lot of different things as far as Star Wars and cast and crew and things that you might not even have seen before. They work on all different types of films, and and you never really notice who they are in real life or they role. This is D-Dub. That's D-Dub. She works on the Lucas team in the storyline for Star Wars. She works on the story group. So she knows all about it. All about this film. Will you get anything out of her? No. She's perfectly trained. But me, I listen to details when they talk. As I take you all through Star Wars Celebration. As you see Carcino with his officers, as you see, Forrest Whitaker and myself, he's not short. He's 6 foot tall, almost 6'1". I'm 5'11". And there she is from Lucasfilm, D-Dub. And listen to her. She came to speak to us about Star Wars. She's involved in a lot of the process. They do all the storylines from Rebels, everything. But people walk past her because they don't know who she is. Here she was at the Black Girl panel at Star Wars Celebration. Old Man Braun, that's from a movie. I hate the back of Forrest Whitaker's neck. I hate my gums because they black. Yeah, that's what it's called, the Black Girl Jedi panel. And here live at Star Wars Celebration, there's D-Dub. Telling us about all these new things, but telling us nothing. Sandman! Sand people! Well, they weren't on the marquee. I am one with the Force, and the Force is one with me. Jedi Training Academy. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Every Leia was doing it. R2 was making out like a bandit. And there's my family. And who is that guy in the middle? Well, that's Carcino. Oh, we are smiling. That's my baby sister. And there is the man who flew the Millennium Falcon, who had it before Han Solo. That is the outside of Star Wars Celebration. That is Darth Maul, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Park. You know, Billy's sitting down, of course. So for all who thought he was short. No, Billy's tall. He's sitting down. That is the actual motto from The Empire Strikes Back. Who knows where it was from? Yes, it's a touchscreen computer. As my sister, she's totally Guardian Blue Jedi. Alan Turkett, the guy that played the voice for the famous movie Rogue One. Me and some orange chick. Orange is in. There it is, the original speeder. So we found out who actually bought it from Luke when he sold the speeder. And the sexiest Leia ever. Oh wow! Imagine seeing him in Return of the Jedi laying up with Jabba the Hutt. Me on the dark side, she's the light. Now, if you notice, she wore two costumes. She was Rey, then she was she was Princess Leia. Now, this is where I'm at with the crew. They're gonna do the reenactment of Rogue One. Before that kicked off, I was right there. Oh, this when it went down. Some Jedis got into it with some stormtroopers or Siths, but it went down. He ended up stabbing two Jedis. Once the backup came. Now y'all know y'all hit that chick. Y'all would hit that blue chick. Obi! Obi-Wan, you my only hope. This is the greatest Kylo Ren there was. He looked just like Kylo Ren. I said, dude, this is the only character you could be. You look just like Kylo Ren. They should cast you. Now, this is the Lego area. For those who can construct, you see a brother is doing this. Putting together the Millennium Falcon with Legos. Let me show you some of brother's work. He made a fin out of Legos. He made Poe Dameron out of Legos. See, there was a section. This kid's starting to build himself. See, they promote creativity. See those kids over there? They're building too. Oh, these people got married on the floor at Star Wars. Who is this guy? I want to see how smart you guys are. That's the man. But I need to know if you know who that is. Oh, I knew you would know, Mike. Way to go, Mike. That's Thrawn. His book sold out at Star Wars Celebration. They had to order more. I advise everyone to read up on Thrawn and learn about Thrawn, and would love to see Thrawn in a film. Everybody's favorite, Jar Jar Binks. And I'm Kylo Ren. What do you mean? I roll with the dark side. Still got my passes from Star Wars Celebration hanging around my neck in case it's time for me to go back. So, any more questions for people who just came on the chat line about The Last Jedi? Well, when that park and resort open, it's going to be pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. At least that's what I think. Though what I think isn't very popular. It's just a matter of opinion. Wow. I don't know where they got that from. The sword fighting I've been doing. I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. The first act. I didn't bring my. What's up? I'm gonna take you to the Sith quarter. It was hard to get a good reception there, but this is where the Darth Vader was on the attack. What I was telling you about. The doors were pushed. Yeah. How did you like that? So, told you I was going to take you guys inside a Star Wars Celebration the best way that I could. Rey is not related to Luke. I believe she's related to Kenobi. She's related to Kenobi in some way. Well, we'll find out why she was left and all of that. We might find that details out in episode 9. Now let's take you inside Star Wars Celebration again. They got all 3 versions of Vader. It's the Jedi Stormtrooper here. The one that was riding the speeders. I like that suit. Let me look at this. That is a dope suit. Yep. You can notice the modifications on the Empire. And then the Return of the Jedi one is over there. That's right. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. Vader's like 6'4". Oh, there's my sister. I didn't lost her. I forgot I was here with my sister. There she is, lost. She's gonna try to text me now. As I take you to the wall of the dark side. We'll get them motivated to come over to the dark side. That is the wall of the dark side. Come over to the dark side. We got great dental benefits. We got a 401k plan. Come join the dark side. The rebellion can only give you hope. You can't get cavities out with hope. Come join us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can just set it there on the table.
You guys look awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Oh, they're perfect. Okay.
See, you meet a lot of great people here.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, fine. Yeah, why go to Philly, but I can come here? What's in Philly?
Yeah, girl. What's in
Since she's a Jedi. For your Jedi, see you in the store. Quite sure they are.
Well, I thought it when I went camping.
Camping? Oh, yeah. Hey. Okay. Do I think Kylo will become a Sith Lord? Absolutely not. Where everything's going down. The Sith no longer exists. And neither will the Jedi. Once Luke goes, there'll be a new order. It's just the dark side and the light. And then the gray. Those are the original speeders. Well, they're not. They remade.
Alright, hold on. I need to get over here to a lot of these different things.
Yeah, I'm coming. Okay, I know he was taking a picture. No?
Want to welcome everybody to Star Wars Celebration. Alright, here you go.
So when is Ray flying?
Ray is at 3 something.
And here's my favorite part. Look who I run into, y'all. Admiral Akbar.
Admiral Akbar, we got enemy attacks in Sector 7.
That's a trap. Admiral Akbar. Admiral Akbar, we got enemy attack. We got enemy attack in Sector 7. Oh, I'm dark side all day. To me, I don't need the light. To me, it was nothing but blindness. I know that's a different movie, but you get the point. They wanted to interview my sister. They ain't want to interview me, though. Look at her going through her interview.
guess it's too early for us to come in that way.
Have all y'all seen Rogue One?
So,
Saul Guerrero.
no, Jim just left me. I've been looking for Paul Gully.
He looking for Bo Gully.
Yes, save the dream. Today is fine for Gullet. It's been 40 years.
It's been 40 years.
5 years.
He dug out and he's been looking for Bo Gully.
Luckily, I fell into a pocket which was actually my kitchen. I had food for 5 years, and then I had to dig myself out because I ran out of food.
He ran out of food, so he had to dig himself out. He's in the search for Bo Gully.
In case you didn't know what he was talking about, he was talking about his Bugully. that thing.
Yeah, this is the home of the dark side. There's my army waiting on me.
Welcome to the dark side. Hey. What?
I'm going to the bathroom real quick. It's right here.
All right. I love my sister, but she has definitely slowed me down this trip.
I'm cracking myself up.
We have stops for shopping, bathrooms, drinks, like as soon as we hit the door.
That's right, she chose the wrong side.
Oh, yes, look at the car.
This is the dark city.
You know, when the dark side hit the streets, we got to ride in our cars.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, that is so cool.
That's the BB-8 Volkswagen. For when you have to absolutely hit the streets.
Huh? 501st? You said what? Are you 501st? Oh, no. Nope. I got it. Thank you.
There's Darth Vader car.
B2. Say hello. Yep. You love the celebration? Yeah, look, it's Leia. Princess Leia. Well, thanks, buddy. We'll let you go enjoy the rest of the celebration. Okay. Take care, buddy. That's R2. He's everybody's buddy. Bye-bye. Oh, you coming with us? It's time to eat.
What's wrong with Star Wars?
Alright. This is it. We are saying goodbye to Star Wars Celebration. We hope you've enjoyed it.
Of course, it's the annual event.
Gotta have milk.
There it is. There's the milkman.
Even in space, gotta have blue milk.
Gotta get your Blue Harvest milk.
Yeah. Blue heart. Blue milk. Yeah.
I'm gonna costume later on today, and I have buns, and I was trying to get.
Now, like I said, there are any more questions we have about Star Wars? Well, people are hoping that we're going to get another Rogue One or Rogue Two. We're going to actually get supposedly a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, which I doubt. But somebody wants to see one on Boba Fett, which might happen if Vikram Fett character pops up in this film. May the Force be with you. Until next time.